Next is some long grande wang, and the subject is respect. Question for Disco Inferno, the Mark Triggerer. In the lead up to AEW's Collision debut, Tony Khan won the usual shows to promote the show. Busted Open Radio, Barstool Wrestling, and the only way I can describe those experiences is that they were awkward. Tony would make these big boastful comments, nothing but positive spin, and his comments were, most of the time, met with an awkward silence. It seemed to like that even Tony's biggest supporters were starting to not believe what he's selling them. Even at the media scrum for the last AEW pay-per-view, it was just a weird move. Long ramble, but basically what I'm asking you, do you think that people who know Tony Khan are starting to lose respect for him? He keeps doing all this talking, but he's not getting the results to match his boasting. What do you think? Well, I'll tell you what. The problem that they have is that this 3 years in, and their numbers are stagnating, and they still have not embraced episodic storytelling. Okay, now they're bringing guys in. They brought in Sanjay. They brought in Jimmy Jacobs.
Jimmy Jacobs, yeah.
Okay, and let me tell you something. The Jimmy Jacobs is a good get because the guy writes a good episodic television show. Like Impact, if you watch the show, there's good threads throughout with interview promo and stuff like stuff like this. He knows how to write a show. I think it's still out. The jury is still out on Tony because, like I said, he's never been in the business. He's learning it as he goes along. If he can learn to do episodic storytelling better, okay, it might improve. But honestly, bro, every AEW show is the same. There's not a lot of build up to the matches. The matches are way too long, and they're kind of like just the show is determined by the fan base as, okay, how good were the matches? And it's like, people like me, it's like I watch it and I'm like, I'm just underwhelmed. Like, okay, great. There's a great match. It's like there's 40 matches on TV every week. It's like, I'm not watching all of them. So I don't know. Are people losing respect for him? I mean, bro, he's got I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
This Wang guy, he's got a problem with Tony putting his company over publicly. What's he supposed to do? Of course, Tony's going to.
No, he's an excellent promoter for his company.
Yeah, I mean but that's what Wang's saying. Well, all he does is say all the good. Well, what's he supposed to say? He's going to come on and say Wembley sold these tickets, and we have a new primetime deal with TNT for this show, and he's going to focus on the positive. Of course, he is. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, it does get a little bit. Oh, it's. I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's his job, to put over the product just like it's mine to put over mine. The difference is I have no problem saying when I was wrong. There's no problem saying something was bad. It builds up your credibility with your fan base.
Right.
If my company picks up or a wrestler, I'll say it. And if I'm wrong, there's nothing. Okay, I was wrong. Big deal. I won't do it again. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any problem. Yeah.
You were that clip went on YouTube when we were talking about the clip we're talking about Roosh. What happened with Roosh and all them, right? Bro, that was I don't think you'll find anybody working for a company that would be that honest in like talking about their company. That was an excellent segment. Like you want to if you look, it's like you tell I don't think Tony would do that. You were kind of like, okay, this is what's going on. It's like, I doubt he would. I think his thing was like, I don't want to get, I can't get into that.
Right.
And that's just the way he is. He's a positive spin. I think that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with having a positive spin about your company because he's the promoter. And he's actually the guy who runs the company. So there's nothing wrong with that. But you are different because you would like to give more of an honest spin.
Right.
And
the thing is, and here's the only thing that I have on this show and as the position I'm in AAA is my credibility. That's all I have,
Right.
Obviously, I have people that never believe me and never won't. Big deal. I'm not interested in you. But our fan base knows that I pull no punches and I keep it 100,
Right.
And I don't really know what others think about him as I don't speak to those people on those shows about him. And I would have to hear the interview. But, bro, the reason they keep silent is because they don't – if they fight him, he won't do their show. Very simple.
Right.
And that's the reason why a lot of people won't come on this show because we're not going to toe any company lines. We're not here to ambush you. We're not here to make you look bad. We're just here to have an honest conversation. And it's okay to get wrong? What's the
Right.
big deal? You know why it's okay to get wrong, Disco? Because it teaches you what not to do the next time.
Yeah.
You
Nobody's
learn from
100%.
you learn from your errors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I think although Tony does bust it open, I think he won't go on if Bully Ray is on. You know, he'll go on
Really?
with Dreamer and Dave LaGreca. I'm looking at here, but I seem to recall that. I'd have to look it up. But there was some early on something Bully Ray said about AEW early on that turned Khan off, and he wouldn't go on the show with him. So,
Well, that's because Tony will go to these shows. He didn't want he shies away from criticism, but and it's created this atmosphere. Where
But just go on there. But just go on there, like Disco said before. Just go on there, confront the guy, and explain your position. And if he's right, he's right. I mean, you might be wrong. What's wrong with being wrong?
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
what it was back in 2021, they got into it a little bit on Busted Open about Bully has problems with the way the referees do their job in AEW, and they had a little tiff about that. And now Tony won't go on the show with Bully. So,
Good grief.